live from the shores of Lake Victoria. This is Kevin Otieno with BBC News. Leaked US documents have revealed that disagreements in Russia's security apparatus led to the defense ministry being accused of undercounting casualties of the war in Ukraine. Russia has said very little publicly about the scale of its war deaths, but the files show the FSB security service claimed officials were not counting deaths of the Russian National Guard, Wagner mercenaries and others. Russia has already warned the leaks may be fake, deliberately dumped by the US. However, the detail corroborates what was already widely known, that Russia's military and security groups have had frequent disagreements about the handling of the war in Ukraine, and that Russia has avoided publicizing the numbers of dead and wounded. A U.S. appeals court has temporarily blocked a decision by a Texas judge to halt the government's approval of a widely used abortion drug. Mifepristone, one of two drugs used for medication abortions, was approved by the Food and Drug Administration and has been allowed for over 20 years. Abortion pills are now the most common method of ending a pregnancy, used in more than half of all U.S. abortions. This ruling means access to it will be maintained, but with some restrictions. They include a requirement to visit one's doctor to get the drug and limiting its use to the first 7 weeks of pregnancy from the current 10. Crime author Anne Perry, who helped murder her friend's mother as a teenager, has died aged 84. The writer served 5 years in prison from the age of 15 for bludgeoning Honora Mary Parker to death. Perry died in a Los Angeles hospital, her agent confirmed. She had been declining for several months after suffering a heart attack in December. The author was the inspiration for Peter Jackson's 1994 film Heavenly Creatures, which starred Kate Winslet. The oldest member of the U.S. Senate has been asked to temporarily step aside from a key committee after two colleagues urged her to resign. California's Dianne Feinstein, who is aged 89, said her return to Washington had been delayed by complications from shingles. She revealed last month she was in hospital with the condition. Her absence has complicated President Joe Biden's efforts to confirm federal judges in the Senate, which has only a slim Democratic majority. On Wednesday evening, Mrs. Feinstein's office said she had asked the Senate to find a temporary replacement for her on the Judiciary Committee. You're listening to the latest BBC News as obtained from the website by me, Kevin Otieno. A Peruvian ex-interior minister was complicit in the 1988 killing of Hugo Bustillos, a journalist who investigated human rights abuses, a court has found. The former minister, Daniel Uresti, has been sentenced to 12 years in jail. The court ruled that Uresti, who at the time was a military intelligence officer in the army, took part in the ambush and murder of Mr. Bustillos. Lawyers for the politician say they would appeal against the verdict. Hugo Bustillos, a reporter for the weekly magazine Caritas, was killed at the height of the conflict between Peruvian security forces and rebels of the Maoist Shining Path group. The journalist reported on human rights abuses committed both by the rebels and the army in the Andean region of Ayacucho, not Ayacucho, kaka Jaluenya Lowacho, one of the hardest hit by the armed conflict, which left 69,000 people dead or disappeared. On the day of his killing, he was heading to investigate the killing of a villager and her son, reportedly by the Shining Path. And that's the latest BBC News. From me, Kevin Otieno. live from the shores of Lake Victoria. Thank you for always coming back to watch my I don't know my imposition. Am I like appearing to be a BBC announcer? I'm just trying to sound like them, but I'm not one of them. I mean, I would not decline an opportunity to serve there, but as of this recording, as of this presentation, I am unable to work with them because I don't have a very vital document which I studied for, but now I cannot access because, well, money is the problem. Money is not the problem. The problem is how to use it. All right? And I don't remember having that money in the first place to use it. So I think I need to do something. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more news in 24 hours time.